Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show, presented by J&J Production Studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Hello and welcome everybody to your weekend. It is the What's Up Bro podcast show. I'm Sam Crow here with you guys. Big Hoss, not here tonight again, is with his mom, sends his best wishes to you all. Hopefully you guys had a chance to see him when he was outdoor dashing this past weekend. If you did, awesome. That was great. Let us know if you did. Send us on social media an update about that, or you can email us. That'd be great as well. Don't have Mr. Fire here either. Might have him later. We're not sure. But nevertheless, I am here for you guys. We're going to have a great show for tonight. My apologies right off the bat, and you probably noticed a lapse if you were paying attention or waiting for the show to start. Did start the show right at the top of the hour. However, for some reason, the software here was not working entirely. It was partially working. So the intro and everything went through okay, but when I turned on the microphone, it showed me there was no vocals coming through. So I quickly tried to do what I could with it. I don't know if it was coming through. Maybe it was and just wasn't registering, so had to shut the whole thing down. So I apologize, we're starting a bit later, but we're going to still keep on chat for about an hour there at least for you guys to make up the difference. And it's going to be an awesome one here. I'm actually going to get my fire started here, or our fire started rather. Let's get this going. Because it is, as the title mentions too, we're beginning to count down. We've started the dog days of summer, but now we are coming down to the final countdown. Summer is winding down and coming to an end. It's hard to believe. I mean, pretty soon, a lot of you guys who are younger are going to be going back to school, as school is going to be starting for a lot of you young guys, young listeners that might be out there too. Sure, maybe a lot of you are looking forward to it. Maybe some of you aren't, but either way, it's definitely a sign of the changing season coming. And a lot of people now are out and about, maybe getting some last-minute vacations. You guys might be out listening to this on vacation now. Some people do go earlier in the summer, but some go later. It just really depends on scheduling and how things pan out. And also a lot of county fairs going on. Myself, Miss Eliza, we're out at our local county fair this last couple days. It runs tomorrow night. Will be the finale for the weekend. It'll be the last big fair for the year. Been to a few so far. It always happens. That's the nice thing about summer. A lot of you guys might have county fairs you go to. It's a lot of fun, some great fair food, a lot of entertainment there, and all kinds of neat things that you can do. So hopefully you had a chance to participate in that. But yeah, we are literally letting the fire burn out. The embers are going to be coming soon when we are looking at the end of summer, beginning of fall. If I remember correctly, I believe the first official day of fall is September 23rd this year. So we've got about a little bit over a month left to go. And it's going to go by quickly, naturally. And I'm sure a lot of us are marking our calendars, and you're probably parents starting to prep for school, for those kids going back. And maybe you're looking forward to it because you get your break finally. Just joking. But it's really going to be interesting because, we talk about it. We have talked about it where you have so many things planned to do, and no matter how many times you plan it and how many times you work through it, things just don't always go the way you hope they would. So maybe you got all your stuff done for this summer. If you did, congratulations. Good for you. That's an awesome accomplishment. I know I haven't quite, but still wasn't a bad summer altogether, so I can't complain there. But it definitely has flown by. It's definitely been one of those moments of unbelief that we are now rapidly approaching. The summer is, you can feel it. You can feel a change in the air, like literally, just about. I'm waiting for the leaves to start turning. There are some areas where they have, but not all the way across the board yet on all the trees. But it's coming soon. So, maybe depending on some of your areas where you guys are located, you may have noticed it already. That's a possibility, but we're getting there. The weather has been getting a little bit more mild. It hasn't been quite as warm. I think the warmest day coming up this week, we're going to have a bit of a heat spike at 87 degrees, which is going to be a high. We're not in the 90s anymore. So we're raring out and riding out these last few days of summer. So enjoy them, because the thing that's going to stink the most, I think for me especially, now granted it doesn't happen right away till later in the year, but once we start to have daylight savings and we turn our clocks back, spring forward, fall back. Yes, I have to do my math sometimes, I always forget. We do lose daylight, and I shared this story with you guys, I don't know if recently, but a while back, when I worked the job that I had previously. I typically worked a 9 to 5 kind of shift, as most people do. But what was interesting and funny was over the summer it was nice because I got off of work, at 5 or a little bit after, and it was still relatively nice out. You could still do plenty of things, and the weather was beautiful, that sort of stuff. Working through the fall and the winter time, I would go into work. It was always cold, number one, naturally, and number two, going in during the daylight and coming out in the dark. It was always interesting. So it's like, okay, wow. So definitely a huge game changer and mood changer when you see those differences. But nevertheless, it's just part of life and we do it. So we're going to sit back and chat with that. We may have Miss Eliza join us later. She might jump in with us and chat a little bit. We want to talk a little bit about some summer traditions and family traditions, which we have shared throughout some episodes that we did, but figuring it's kind of nice to catch up with that since we are watching the clock tick down to when summer fizzles out, just like our campfire goes out. Well, summer fire goes out. We're going to have our fall and winter fire for some episodes too, but this is definitely coming to the end of the heat wave of summer, and it is August the 18th. It's Friday night, just to update you guys in case you didn't know that, and some people don't. Might sound funny, but people are so busy you can't hardly tell what time it is or even what day it is, like if you're lucky enough. So the date is hard enough, but we're going to chat about all that and more. Just a couple quick announcements before we get started, because I want to update you guys on some things in case you have missed along and haven't followed up to this point, which if you haven't done so, check out our link tree. All of our social media accounts are there, as well as all the streaming services where our podcasts are featured. Now, again, I was able to delete, the blooper episode. It might appear in some of the streaming services. I don't know how to delete those. I can't get those off, so it's about less than a minute, so just ignore that. This is the real episode coming out, so that's the only drawback. It's nice to have everything linked together when you upload everything, but when those glitches happen, and they have happened to us quite a few times, it does make it a bit of a pain in the neck to edit everything. So apologies there in advance, but still probably entertaining. And if you guys listen to it and leave messages, let me know if you actually heard audio, because I honestly don't know. So might have come through, it just wasn't registering on the software here, but we'll see. Again, life lessons, it happens. But if you guys missed it, check out last weekend's episodes if you haven't already. We had a great show over the weekend. We had our anniversary episodes. It was the 1-year anniversary since we posted our first episodes of the What's Up Bro show. A lot of the other shows that we have came around later, which we're going to get to that in a second for some updates there. And we also had our very special guest. We had Miranda Maverick back with us, a UFC fighter who we've talked to earlier this year. She was gracious enough to come back and join us, and got a chance to chat with her on Saturday night last weekend. So if you did miss that, episodes are up and available on your favorite streaming service where you get your podcast. You can check it out. It was an awesome interview. We're hoping to have her back again. We are putting some feelers out for some other special guests. We do have one that we might have, hopefully on the sooner side, not sure. We will be notified when the scheduling allows for that. We'll keep you guys posted, so I want to keep it where is it? There it is. Mystery for now until we get more details, but we do have something lined up, hopefully down the road. It's been an incredible 2023. It's going to be topped off. I don't know if anything's going to top Miranda's interviews so far, but it has been a huge year for us, and it's going to continue to be huge as we look forward to 2024 and beyond. So another big announcement for you guys. We've been saying this and sharing this in the last few episodes as well. We are in the process of uploading and getting the website done. We know Olivia has been gracious to help us out. I know she's been really busy. We still want to have her help us moderate and do those sorts of things, but we are looking at having a company create it. And we want to have that out hopefully by the end of this year. Not sure, it might be sooner. We're still working on the blueprints and the plans and the building construction of it. But that is set to begin soon, so make sure you guys keep up to date with us. We'll post updates on social media when we have things underway and it begins to really get traction going. We naturally will announce it on the show. All the other podcast shows that we have here, we'll make sure we mention that, as well as share the link on our link tree, and we'll also individually post it on our social media accounts so you guys can get it and check it out. It's going to be amazing. We cannot wait. Probably going to be our huge, big project to end this year and really get the podcast together and get the show going, as well as the studio here to really launch things. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. I've been working really hard on the design and talking with the company that's going to be doing that, so we're going to talk about that a little later on, hopefully this week. So we'll keep you guys updated for that. Stay tuned. It's going to be incredible. And I just cannot wait to see how it turns out. We've been itching for this and wanting to do this since the beginning probably of this year. And I know, again, I'm trying to be patient with everything. And Olivia's been great to help us out do that. I just know she's got so much going on. So we are going to forward ahead and try to get this done. But she will help us continually with running the site. We'll let her know about that too. But it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. Cannot wait to see the final product and have it all out there for you guys, which will include episode uploads so you can listen to episodes of the show right on the site. That is sort of the plan and the development that we have as well, amongst other things that we've advertised. You guys heard for the commercial that we run too. And it's going to be great, so I hope you guys will love that. Keep yourselves on the edge of your seat. We'll let you know as that develops coming forward. What else do we have going there? I think we mentioned it last time because we actually did have it, but we do have some new updated logos that we did. We did it especially for the YouTube channel because I know YouTube had changed their policy where the links no longer show up on the banner. So just figure it's time to upgrade the banner just a little bit. Not much of a change to it other than just adding all of the social media links and those icons there. I think it makes it look more colorful. So if you haven't checked that out, please feel free to do so. We also have that up on the SoundCloud account. You can view that, as well as a couple other spots. I forget where all we updated it. We may have done it on, we may actually haven't changed the business page on Facebook. We might do that. We'll see how that goes too. And maybe even the Facebook group, but we want to add that in there. But it looks incredible. So if you haven't already checked that out, it was amazing. You can't be thankful enough. All the folks that we've worked through, including the website design we're going through, Fiverr. Fiverr is a great in partnership with Spreaker. We found it. All of the work that we've had done, from the voice actors to the visual art and everything else in between, you guys know, has come through them. And again, no way are they sponsoring this episode, but we want to give props and shout out there, just like we do to the folks at Soundstripe, the great artists that we got all of our tracks for that you guys hear that we play every week. And so just incredible. If you're looking for it too, check out a good podcast host site and Spreaker.com. Perfect, great opportunity for some wonderful packages, fair pricing there, whatever your needs are. Check it out today. Some discounts they run periodically too. So if you're looking to start your own podcast or podcasts, highly recommend it. We love being a part of the Spreaker family there. And a huge shout out. Hopefully we're looking forward to seeing Mr. J come back with his show at Ragnarok Radio Inc. Proud partnership with them. I know they've been really busy, haven't had any shows out probably since the springtime. Hopefully that'll come back soon. We'll keep posted on them, but make sure you guys keep up to date with that. And lastly, mentioning too, we do have a couple new podcast features that we've added. You guys may have heard already. We have the new ASMR and Nighttime Sleep, newer updated feature for that podcast that we did. A new episode of that will be coming out soon. And a rebranding of what was going to be the D&D fantasy game show. We now have the What's Up Bro review show. First episode will be coming soon. I mentioned it, I believe it was last weekend, but I'm going to mention it again. Did a little promo video for that, a promo podcast episode for that, just a little short one to announce it. But the first episode we're planning to do for that, we haven't seen it yet. It's a brand new movie that has come out. We're waiting for it to release so we can either rent it and be able to watch it, unless it comes out available for purchase ahead of time. But you guys may have seen the original, but we are going to be reviewing The Meg 2, The Trench. It talks about the story of the Megalodon, which was a prehistoric shark back in the day. You guys may have seen the original one, The Meg. It came out back, I think 2018 was when it released. I almost said Owen Will. That's the wrong one. Rainn Wilson from The Office is one of the mainstays in the original one there. Jason Statham is a huge, big role in that film, and also comes back and reprises his role in the sequel here, which I can't give too much detail. If you want to check it out, of course you can go on YouTube or anywhere you can find the trailer. It's up and available, and of course it's out in theaters still, I believe, at this point. If you haven't checked it out already, you can do so. But we're gonna give some review on that, our thoughts, and see what you guys think about that. So that's going to be the first official episode of that show. We have some other episodes coming out too of the sports show. We're going to get back to the Law and Justice show. I've got an idea for a show coming out for that as well. And amongst the others, Colorado music and live streaming with Big Hoss, and of course Chilling with Sam Crow, Game Corner, and of course all the rest. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure if you listen to on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notifications bell. That's going to allow you to know exactly when we have new episodes uploaded every week. And that way you don't have to worry about checking there again. It'll just give you an alert when it happens. So make sure you guys do that. If you haven't, we'd appreciate that support. Thank you guys so much. Of course, we love it, all the support that you guys give us, and this is why we do what we do and work tirelessly to provide the best content available. So I think that's going to do it for the announcements. Let's dive in here for a little bit, and then we'll go to a short commercial break shortly here. But I just want to reveille, that's the wrong word. I want to kick back in the glow, the fire that's going here. And again, yes, I know, this is not a real fire, and it's not as exciting, and it's kind of one of those. You have to give me something there. It's just kind of like, we want to enjoy the little things here. So the ambiance of it doesn't quite have the same feel as a normal fire would, but you still can enjoy it, and it's still, I find, very soothing and relaxing here. So that's what we're going to enjoy this as well. I'm also multitasking here on social media, which apparently looks like Tumblr made a change to their page, which is slightly irritating in some regard. I'm not sure why they did this. I'm not sure if I can hide any of this stuff. Can I close it? This is... Yeah, they did. Must have updated it. Huh. Not horrible, but at the same time, it's just kind of... it's the same thing like I mentioned last time with Twitter, or X, or whatever. I still call it Twitter X. I know it's changed and everything, but the domain is still twitter.com. So until they officially change that, which... Don't know if that's going to happen or not sooner than later, but either way, it's just incredibly weird. And I was thinking about this because you guys know we did update that. I still have, I think, the logo shared on the link tree as well, and I left it up as well. I think on I'm not sure if it's YouTube. Where else do we have? No, it might have been the link tree. We did add the X because it's there, but Twitter icon is still there as well, just to give it its props. But it's funny where part of the thing. It's kind of nice we updated the banner that has the icons on it, which features the new X. I just can't get used to that Twitter X logo. A lot of people on YouTube and other places on social media, a lot of other people that we follow, podcasters and the like, it's unfortunate when you already have the icons displayed, or you might have paid to have them done unless you did it yourself. And now essentially it's defunct because Twitter is no longer Twitter, technically. I'm still not sure how to say that. I still say Twitter X. If posting, no tweets. Again, the domain is still twitter.com. I'm almost positive at some point they may change that, but you would think it probably would have happened up front. Who knows? But again, something simple as X, I just don't understand. I get the concept. Again, I've said this. I understand the concept idea behind it, and some of the new features are great. If you're not on there, check it out. It's awesome. But it's just kind of confusing in some aspect of regard. So I haven't really formed a full opinion on it yet, but I kind of go back and forth. So you guys are welcome to share with us too. Let us know what you think. If you're on Twitter X there, or if you thought about it and want to join now, go right ahead. You can follow us and check it out there, J&J Production Studios. Our official page is up there, but let us know what you think there. It's just, I'm not sure yet where we're going with this, but I get it. And times change, and it's just, it's what it is. Who knows? Facebook might go through a major change at some point. That's been talked about in the past and mentioned, more than one occasion. So it's highly likely that it will happen. But when, where, why, and how will yet to be seen. So we'll kind of see how this pans out. But yeah, it's always interesting. And I'm sure it's frustrating for a lot of you guys, a lot of content creators, and those who, as I said, with icons being set what they are, like with YouTube, which I want to see. I was reading the guidelines. Supposedly the links are still going to pop up elsewhere, but it's just weird. And I love when it comes up with no warning, which, of course, I know a lot of times if you read the fine print, this might play our... There we go. I got it paused. They don't have to give you fair warning with certain things, but it's just kind of difficult when you are not aware of that. Because I even remember checking in on the YouTube channel, going, where did the links disappear to? And was it just us? And when I looked around on some other shows, oh, here it is. Now, how does this work? Let me see this here now, actually. So, it did appear. Oh, we are definitely going to have to, I see. Okay. I'm looking at the page now. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 on it. Oh wait, that's 8 plus that one. Okay. Yeah, so apparently it's up there. It's just really, really strange. We'll have to play with this later. I was reading about this, wondering how they were going to do this. So it does appear right on the banner or the main page here, which I still think is kind of a stupid idea. I kind of liked it better, but it is what it is. I'll have to look at that later on. But like I said, all these things change, and I can understand why. I know a lot of content creators have switched platforms. They've left platforms. I know, like, for example, Kick is the newest big streaming platform. A lot of Twitch users have switched over, saying that, the Kick is better and they offer better things. I know YouTube hasn't been very popular for a while, too. A lot of people have left because of getting demonetized and all the changes there. And, again, at the same time, I understand it, but it is frustrating, especially when you're trying to create regular content. We've had some issues there before, which we seem to iron out there, but can be frustrating for sure, nevertheless. But you guys get the picture. And, of course, if you have any insights, let us know, too. We always love to learn something new and always have a great time with whatever we can learn. So if you can think of something you want to share with us in regards to that, whether you have your own podcast, create your own videos on YouTube, or if you are a streamer on Twitch or Kick or something along those lines, give us some feedback. We would love to absolutely pick your brain and see what we can do to help improve the shows here. So with that being said, I apologize for going on there. It was just kind of a random thought. All this stuff's kind of popped up here, but let's take a short break here. Actually, let me put our fire on pause here just so we don't burn it out entirely, even though I know we won't. I'm just having fun with it. So take a pause here. Great chance for you guys if you want to grab a snack. If you need to use the restroom, you can. Of course, if you're listening to this already as a recording, you can pause it. But if you want to let it play, of course, we'll play some music as well as some commercials for you guys. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about some traditions. So there's something that I know Miss Eliza and I were talking about, and we've shared these before. We've done some traditions. Kind of want to focus on especially the key of with our saying goodbye to summer, or the process of beginning to say goodbye to summer. Wanted to go over some of those fun summertime traditions that maybe we all have done. We'll share some personal ones, discuss maybe some other ones, and see if you guys can relate there. Of course, as always, if you're listening live and you want to give us some ideas there, feel free. The chat is open here. We're keeping an eye on that. Or if you want to chat on social media, we're checking those as well. Let us know some of your family traditions, some of the things that you did growing up, or even as adults maybe, if you do with your own family. Let us know. We'd love to hear about that. But we're going to share some of the ones that we've done. I'm going to see if Miss Eliza is going to jump on in a little bit as well. Going to share a lot of mine. There are some that we have done, and we're going to talk about that again as we revel. What's the word? As we regale. Not regale. Regale is. Apparently, I'm not a dictionary. I don't honestly I know a lot of words, but it's always hard to find the right context for it. We're going to bask in the glow of the remaining summer days. That's the easiest way I can put it there. By reflecting and going back in time, and summer was always a fun time for me growing up as well. So I'm going to share all of that and more. And if we can get Miss Eliza in here, she'll share some of hers as well. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But let's play some commercials for you guys. And when we come back, we will definitely talk more and go through that. And just really begin. Again, I don't want to make it sound like a bummer. We're going to stretch out these summer days, whatever we have left, as much as possible. But we'll make the most of it. And hopefully still have a good time and ride out these summer waves. And then prepare for fall. A lot of you guys might love fall. I'm not saying I don't. It's not my all-time as much favorite, but if you don't mind the transition, it's not going to be a huge loss for you. But for those of us wanting to hold on to the summer heat, we're going to try to make it as comfortable as possible and hold on as long as we can until that transition happens. So come on back for more. We'll talk about some traditions, summertime, what happened over the course of time, what we like to do, maybe some summer traditions that we can share that we don't like to do. I know there's some of those too as well. Plenty of that and more, though, when we come back. Make sure you stay tuned. So glad you guys are coming to hang out with us here on Friday night. We love to be here for you to start your relaxing weekend vacation. And again, if you're also working, though, we're sorry too, but we're here to also provide you some comfort there too. A lot of people still have to work through the weekend, so wherever you're at in life, we are here for you. We're going to provide you entertainment, and if that entertainment involves us helping you get to sleep at night too, all the better. We are not offended. We absolutely love that. We are a full-service company here. We do our best to be our best for you guys. So come on back. Stay tuned for more. We got plenty more here at the What's Up Bro podcast show on Friday night. And, of course, Saturday night we'll be back as well. Jam-packed weekend ahead of you guys. As we say, beginning to say goodbye to summer. That clock is ticking. You can hear it in the background. But the flames of summer are not going out just yet. Stay tuned for more. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hey audio fans, are you looking for fun and excitement? Have you been searching for that special show? You know, the one complete package you want in a podcast? Then check out the What's Up Bro podcast show and experience what true entertainment is all about. Stay tuned and don't miss the action. Available on your favorite streaming services, including YouTube. Thank you for all your support. And as always, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
All right, welcome back, you guys. So glad you're here. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is the What's Up Bro podcast show brought to you by J&J Production Studios, your true home for entertainment. Friday night, August 18th. We are in the dog days of summer. We have begun the summer countdown to the end of summer and hello fall, which is just about a month away, almost. So hard to believe it's coming by fast. Let's get our fire going here. There we go. So we sit by the campfire is always something nice. So for this part here of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about some summer traditions, and even maybe we can go into some fall traditions if we want. We do have our good friend joining us again. She is here. Let's check our audio. Is Miss Eliza there? Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're coming through loud and clear. Now, you guys will have to forgive us because we are in similar locations, but we're in different rooms, and I can kind of hear her through the through the audio and also in the kitchen, but we'll make this work. Nice to have you back here. I think the last time... When was the last time you were here? Oh, you made a quick appearance, I think, last weekend you were on. But this is your first big appearance. We had that back on later. I'm hoping to have her come on with me to do the review show, which we have now out there. In actuality, I haven't mentioned that to her. I was actually kind of inspired by your idea, which I thought about. So we kind of rechristened one of the podcasts that we have as a review show, which we're going to do. The first official one will be the new movie I mentioned about. We're going to see The Meg 2 at some point. We're going to talk about that, so you're welcome to come on. We can talk about that one in that segment. That'll be a new feature there. But so right now we're talking about summer traditions, and we talked a little about this earlier today. And again, apologies, there might be some feedback. I think it's the way the internet goes. But so let's look at this, and I'm going to throw it out to you since you're here now. You can share a little bit about what were some favorite. We talked about childhood traditions, right? So, and specifically like in the summertime, because we are kind of winding down our summer here. What were some classic, whether it was every year or periodically? What are some of those fond traditions that you remember growing up from, especially during the summertime, whether you're on summer vacation from school or whatever it was? What are some that you want to share?
Some traditions that we had growing up is we went to like a local amusement park every year. We went to Knoebels. If you're from Pennsylvania, that's where we went. And we went every year since I was 3, I want to say.
Long time.
Yes, and then towards the end, or in the latter years, we would also then go camping at Knoebels. So Knoebels has an amusement park, and it also has a campground attached to it. So you could camp and then walk into the park and go back and forth.
Okay.
As my siblings and I got older, my parents then took us camping there as well. So we would camp anywhere upwards close to a week there. And then whenever we would camp, we would always have eggs and bacon on the last morning that we were there camping. So that was kind of like our tradition when we were camping.
Now, you kind of did that, well, I should say kind of, you did that a lot, probably, well, from the time growing up at that point till, excuse me, maybe, early adulthood, not as much frequently.
Yeah, I want to say probably like my mid-teens. Like once I turned like 17, 18, where I started working during the summers, we didn't do it as much. But when I was a younger teen, preteen, we would do it quite often in the summertime.
Yeah, and I think that's par for the course for a lot of people, just because, we shared this a lot. We talked about this, especially over the last couple of weeks since we've been in the midst of summer here, and we talked about this especially when we came back from vacation back in July. It's difficult when you want to take time away, because everybody likes to do that, and everybody does do that to some degree almost every summer. It's usually one of those things that people plan ahead of time, but you always have to carve out that window of time where, say, like we went away for a week. You have to, plan for that.
Right.
Not everybody does. Some people go away just for a weekend or a few days, but generally at least a week, especially at the heart of summer, seems to be statistically quite common for a lot of people. Now, whether that means a local trip like to the beach or the shore, it could be a trip to Europe, it could be a trip to another country. Either way, there's that chunk of time. Maybe we joked about this, which a lot of people don't do nowadays, but driving across the country just because of gas prices. But that was something that was always a fun thing to do. But you had to carve that time. And I know I share a similar vein. It was harder, like, for my family, too. We did a lot of stuff kind of like that, too, when we were younger. But as we got older and, schedules were changing and different things were happening responsibility-wise, it made it just that, much more difficult. But you still found ways, like, even if those traditions weren't exactly, the same, you kind of found ways around that, right? You found other ways to kind of compensate and maybe tweak them a little bit, or even just did some new ones, right? You kind of adjusted that a little bit, maybe, as you went along.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, it's interesting because whenever you look at people, you see kind of a similar pattern. Everybody's different, but there's always some kind of general, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of similarities as far as things that are done. Like, obviously, a lot of people go to the beach. That just seems to be, quite a favorite. Not everybody loves the beach, but yeah, that's kind of, well, for not just because there's different reasons for that. It's not just because you don't like it, but it's harder to be out, and the things going on there makes it difficult. But
right.
a lot of people tend to do that, or they go camping, or they take a trip. Some people maybe not a cross country trip, but maybe just down the coast. Some people still drive. I mean, again, that's if you can afford to and want to do it. But that seems to be a very much a favorite. But we did the same thing. We wouldn't camp though, but we go to the local park too, like that. Ride rides and do that kind of thing. One of our more notable traditions was, again, if you're familiar in the Pennsylvania area, there's Amish country. Everybody goes to Lancaster County. We would go down there, and again, it was usually about 5 to 7 days. It really just depended. Again, because like my dad had work schedule and everything. But we would go down and take in a show like at Sight and Sound, which is a huge, big theater production place down there. We would go eat at local restaurants. My mom, like my grandmother, would love to go on shopping trips. A lot of local stores there. So that was usually very much a yearly tradition every year, especially when we were younger. As we got older, it was more of a day trip. We didn't really do it as often, not stay like at a hotel for a week. But that sort of trend was something that we always did. But yeah, a lot of people, I think it's kind of unique too. I shared this earlier. We talked about we went to the fair. There's a local county fair going on now. That's a huge one that a lot of people, I think, travel to. We've had several around here. But again, fair food, and some have rides. A lot of people like to do rides, especially if you have kids that want to go on rides. There's contests there. There's animals in some county fairs. Usually, there's always something for everybody there. Other than that, though, is there one favorite one? Like, is there something that you always kind of a cherished memory when you think about a tradition that you had? And it doesn't have to necessarily be just in the summertime. Is there something, though, that you always like that family still does? I can think of one. I think it's kind of an interesting one, but I want to see what you want to share first. If you could think of one off the top of your head.
Tradition in my family.
In the same order, yep.
What do you mean in the same order?
I'm joking, piggybacking, because you're repeating my words. I'm like, yes, in that order. Family, tradition, family. I'm joking.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'm sure there's a lot, so take your time with that. It's obviously.
Yeah, we do have a lot.
I'll share one I kind of like. I think, and I believe you said it's a Christmas tradition every year. Now, is it the Christmas? Is it the Christmas pickle?
Oh, the pickle. We would look for it. Now that's a fairly new tradition.
Okay.
We did not have that growing up. That's something I want to say it's something my mom started after my dad passed, but it might have been like a year or two before. Like, I feel like it started around the time that, like, I moved out, so we would come all together to celebrate Christmas, and that's kind of like how we signified, okay, like, now we can leave to go to our respective homes.
Right. Which is a lot of fun, and just an oversight for you guys at home listening. The tradition is to take. It is actually a pickle ornament. Is that right, or is it some kind of pepper?
Yes, and this is it. It is a. It's not just a tradition my family does. I want to say it's a German.
It sounds.
German.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's some type of.
Which a lot of you guys at home.
Cultural.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something that, like, my mom made up.
No. I was going to say, a lot of you guys at home, you may do this already, know what we're talking about, but a lot of you that don't, you take the pickle ornament, you hide it in the tree, and the first person who locates the tree wins the prize of, is it jar of pickles?
A jar of pickles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe you won this past round, wasn't that right?
I did. This past year, I won.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So that's kind of a fun one. I'm not sure if that's your all-time favorite, but I figure we share that because that's an interesting one.
I mean, you're right. There are so many that you kind of forget, like, some of the things you do until you're actually there doing them.
Of course.
Like another tradition my dad would more so do is during the summer times he would go to all of the local fairs. So where we live, there are several of them. And he would get a sausage sandwich. So there were at least 4 or 5 different fairs throughout the summer that he would go, and then he would eat a sausage sandwich at each one of them, and then rate how they were in taste and then in price. So
okay,
that was just something fun that we did.
Yeah, that's an interesting
sandwich.
That's an interesting way to do it. It's always nice because I feel like not to singular anything out from a fair, but it seems like county fairs always have, I don't know why this is, but they always have, like, for lack of a better term, the best tasting food. I guess the most unique tasting food is the better way to say it. And so I know, like, for example, on Jersey side, I always went to what's known as the Warren County Fair, which is in Warren County. They always have unique vendors. I've had Polish food over the years. I've had German food, and just like some things that you just can't get like at the grocery store. You just can't replicate that. Which is always fun there. But that's an interesting tradition to get food in there. And we always, and again, our traditional too was, which you guys may have done too in your family, was always whenever a fair would come up, we at least once. I know at Knoebels especially we would do it too. Always had to get a funnel cake. My dad was very big on that.
No, we were never big funnel cake.
Okay, well, not everybody is, but that was one for us. Obviously, get a lemonade or some kind of snack. I mean, again, we didn't over binge necessarily on fair food because usually it was a lot more expensive. In some cases, I mean, today, one only knows because that was so many years ago. But that was always fun there, and so a neat way to spend the summer doing that. And now occasionally we did a few times. I don't think we did it as much growing up. I'm not sure if you did, but we also went to a water park on the occasion, which I know Knoebels technically has that. I don't remember if they had it much when we were growing up. I know it became a more popular trend later on. But that was always fun to do. Usually, though, in most cases, we just went to the local swimming pool or to the YMCA, something like that. Which, again, is not as much fun because you're not outside. But
Right.
that was always a fun favorite tradition we would do. On the occasion, it was a rare one, though. It wasn't one that we did, consecutively, yearly, every year. It was just on the occasion if nothing else major was planned. Now, growing up, too, at the time, in the town I grew up in, there was a swimming pool way back in the day. To the point where I think somewhere in my possessions I have my own. You had to have a pool pass to get in there, which you bought, and then you had it. It's almost kind of like the library card thing. You had it for life, kind of thing. I feel like I still have it somewhere. I have to look for it, but that pool has been down now for probably 20-some years, 25 years. But that was always a fun tradition, and when we were younger, it was only about maybe 3 or 4 blocks from the house, and we never had a pool. Obviously, the yard. Which, of course, you've been to the house, you've seen it. It's not a big yard, so we never had a really major big pool. So we would go down. I feel like, was there a year until we had the passes or they charged admission? It was only and if you bought food at the concession stand, it was $10 for that. It wasn't bad. I used to take swim lessons when I was a kid. That was kind of a summer tradition we used to do when I was younger. But granted, that changed when the pool shut down. But nevertheless, it was a fun tradition at that time. So something I always remember much from the summer. And one thing I never did, I don't know if you ever did, I know a lot of folks in the area do, is have a end of the summer, not necessarily a bonfire, but a cookout kind of thing with the fire going.
No, not really. We never did.
I only know a few people that did that. We were invited a couple times and we did that, but it was nothing that was always traditionally, again, yearly kind of thing. It was just on the occasion. And it actually started probably more so in later teen years and earlier adulthood. That's when it wasn't much when we were kids. But so what is something now? I know one thing you're probably going to say, but just to kind of cap off our discussion here with it, what is oh, sorry, we have we got apparently Alexa's going off here. I'm not sure why that is. It's kind of random. If you have Alexa, you know what happens, or even Siri sometimes does that. But what is one fall tradition that you want to do or you're looking forward to? I could think of one right off the top of my head, which I'm guessing she's probably going to go with. But let's see if you say it.
Fall tradition, we would always go to the pumpkin patch.
Well, I'm like that, but I'm just saying, you can use a family one or just in general, even present day, like now. What is something you love now that's fall related that you're looking forward to? That's a tradition for you. I mean, that's great. But then of course, pumpkin patch. Pumpkin patch is always key. That's a huge one. Going to pick out pumpkins, and we got to get some gourds this year. I have one I'm thinking of that you just started recently.
What, our tradition in October?
Oh, no, not that. Just what have you been looking forward to, beverage-wise?
Oh, pumpkin spice.
Oh, see, even she forgets. Apple cider is great. I love that. But yes, pumpkin spice. And a lot of you guys might be pumpkin spice heads out there. You know, especially where you're living, especially in the U.S. there. But it is coming out. It is the drink of favorite people everywhere. I'm not a huge lover of pumpkin spice, but I will indulge. I prefer the apple side of it. Apple cider is probably my big binge for that. It's kind of like eggnog coming in the wintertime and fall, which we're definitely doing this year, by the way. But yeah, pumpkin spice, you definitely have your coffee lined up there, and that's kind of a favorite drink for... It's going to be better, of course, once this gets colder. I think do you enjoy it more on a colder day, usually when you have it?
I just enjoy coffee, period. So.
Okay, so it's a win-win for you either way you look at it, but... That's a huge one there. And of course we have our holiday traditions we have too, but I guess we can collectively concur and say, just to put a fine bullet point on this, that, you know, as much as it's always hard to say goodbye to summer, especially I know for me, the weather is always hard when it changes. I mean, early part of fall is not bad. It usually stays pretty mild. It's usually around the end of middle of October, end of October, it starts to get brutally cold into November and December. That's usually what kicks off the winter, but it's fair to say, though, that summertime is never usually much of a disappointment. Would you say you had a good summer, for all intents and purposes?
so.
Okay, as she says that confidently. No. I mean, as far as an overall sense, I mean, I know a lot of things have happened and been busy, but would you say you've enjoyed summer for the most part?
Yeah, I've enjoyed summer for the most part.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of what counts. You know, we always say sometimes we don't get everything done we hope to for the summer, but at the very least, we try to strive for that, and as much as we can get done, we try to do. So that's always a plus there, which is what we've been sharing with you guys, too, throughout the summer. We're hoping that continues a trend for you guys as we wrap up these last few weeks of summertime there. Well, I thank you, though, for coming on here. I'm glad I had a chance to talk more traditions. We'll probably talk some more stuff later on. And again, we do plan to have Miss Eliza come on. We're going to do the Meg 2 is going to be our first real kickoff for that podcast segment. We can do some shows like you like if you have any thoughts on that, looking for ideas to do that as well. Idea given is to help give some folks some ideas for some things to watch, and that can be either movies to go see, TV shows on your favorite streaming service, anything like that, as well as some other things we're going to discuss too, but we'll love to have you come back there and do that with us as well. But thank you for being here tonight. Enjoy your weekend there. If you'd like to say goodbye to everybody, you can as we get ready to wrap up here. Go for it.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. And then we will continue on our night once we're done here. So you're welcome to hang out here till it closes, or if you want to jump off, that's up to you.
Okay.
But thank you very much for being here.
Bye.
And goodbye. Always fun to have everybody here and hang out. It's nice. We never know who's going to jump in on the studio there, but we got quite the assortment of cast and crew here that join us, and we look forward to that. But to provide the best entertainment for you guys as possible. So with that being the case, so we're getting ready to wrap things up here for you guys. Hope this was very informative. I hope it gives you guys a lot to think about and maybe some traditions to try for yourselves in the future if you are not one of those people that have done any of the things that we've been mentioning here. Plenty of still time left. Again, we've got at least a little bit over a month yet till summer goes, so I know it's kind of squeezing it in there, but if you want to try to instill some new traditions to at least prep for it and maybe plan for next summer as well, but no better time like the present, so we wish you the best for that. Go for it. Let us know. Email us at j_jproductionstudios@yahoo.com. I always say at, but I'm thinking like I'm tagging things, and I'm not. You can also hit us up on social media. Let us know some traditions you got, if it's new for you guys or if it's something that you came up with, or some ones that you can think of that we could try. Let us know for sure. We love to try new things. We'd love to hear from you guys and take ourselves on a whole new adventure. We're always looking for new and exciting things, so we would love to do that as well. Looking forward to being back tomorrow night. Of course, we'll be here Saturday night for you guys to close out the weekend. And, of course, stay tuned for more. We got some other podcasts coming up. When we get some time during the week, we'll get out some new shows for you guys. Make sure you keep up to date with that. Of course, as always, visit our link tree there. All of our studio accounts, all the podcast streaming services where our show is featured, that you can get your favorite episodes there. Go back and listen to some of your favorites. We did play some of those during our anniversary show last weekend. Plenty more to come here as well. So many more surprises hopefully in store to close out the year. We are rapidly approaching that, believe it or not. We're only a couple more weeks until we're in September, and then we're only about 3 months until the end of the year. So really looking forward to the holiday episodes coming up. I hope you guys are as well. Get your Christmas music out. We are probably going to start that right at the top of the month of December. So brush up on your favorites. Sing along with us. Cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. Of course, we have our Halloween episodes, specials coming up, and we always give our tribute nod to Thanksgiving. Plenty to keep us busy here, and plenty more to come as well. Hope you guys will stick with us. It's been a wonderful year so far. Can't wait to close it out, and can't wait to see what 2024 has in store with more here at J&J Production Studios as we continue to persevere and go forward and see how well we grow in a new year. For all of us here at J&J Production Studios, I know for Big Hoss, always sharing your message of please be responsible, don't drink and drive. Make sure you guys have appropriate plans there if you're out partying. It's always a great thing. We love to have a good time, but we want you guys all safe. And of course, I always say to you guys too, be happy, be healthy, and be safe. Please make sure you take care of yourselves. Do not get sick. A lot of illnesses going around now, especially with the changing of the guard coming up with fall approaching as we transition from summer into fall. A lot of times it's a perfect opportunity to get sick. So please take care of yourselves. Be healthy and be well. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night, same time, same channel. So for all of us here, let's close that out here. Let's turn off our fire just so we can make sure you hear it loud and clear. There we go. We appreciate you all so much. We love your support. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Looking forward to more with you all. We say goodnight for now and goodbye. Of course, until next time, though, when we see you at the next show, we'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of your Friday night. See you tomorrow. Be there or be square. We'll be hopefully give you the best entertainment we have available. Never know what's going to happen. We hope you guys will be excited for it. We'll see you guys then. Take care. Have a good one. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.